from 2003 for the PS2 and Xbox. This is Dynasty Warriors 4. A game about a book about Chinese history, where you listen to heavy metal and slash hundreds and hundreds of foes. As always, we'll start with the load times, which are rather quick. And we open to a mid-battle save where I'm playing as Yuan Shao, unfortunately. But I was probably halfway through his Muso mode years and years ago to unlock a character or ending or something. Anyway, what's Dynasty Warriors 4 all about? Well, like all other Dynasty Warriors games, except for the first one, it's a sort of 3D crowd fighter, where your main goal each level is to run around, slash everyone, and then beat the enemy commander. That's right, beat, not kill. That is a KO count after all. Other characters only die if the plot tells them to, but the player will die a lot.
So, Yuan Shao has brought out his toys. We have to destroy them, or else...
The ram must not be destroyed. Protect it!
The voice acting has taken significant steps to reduce its hamminess and cheesiness since Dynasty Warriors 3, but it's still pretty ridiculous at times. There are long story or Muso modes for each army, or a free battle mode where you can pick any character you want and go to any level and still gain experience. Though experience doesn't mean much in this system, it's all about pickups. There's a pretty substantial item selection, weapon leveling and character rank-uppy system thing. I still haven't unlocked any horses yet, I don't know why. There is also a bodyguard system where you can get slightly less useless than usual peons to come with you to fight other useless peons that may otherwise get in your way. They don't really work most of the time though. Here we are at the famous Battle of Chi-Bi, or Chi-Bi, or I don't know the correct Chinese pronunciation. It doesn't really help that practically every Chinese word in Dynasty Warriors was mispronounced until the later installments, so maybe you should just go watch Red Cliff. Anyway, while we're at this famous battle, why don't I explain how the game works? You have light attacks, which combo into heavy attacks, so you may charge up a bar and do Muso attacks. And, that's it. That's how Muso games work. More on that later. Movement in the game is rather slow. At least it is for my game, thanks to the dreaded curse of the PAL region. And as there is no 60Hz mode offered, there's nothing I can do about that. If you find walking too slow, you may commandeer a horse and ride it with perfect analog precision and jump 10 meters high. After all, Koei knows the capabilities of horses, because apart from the endless cascade of Dynasty Warriors spin-offs they make, they also make lots and lots of horse racing sims. And that's pretty much all they did until they merged with Tecmo.
Let us go as well.
I promise there's more than one foot soldier death noise in this game.
Fight! Fight! Fight me!
So, Shu Zhu, who is essentially Big the Cat but with a club, has challenged us to a duel. Duel mode offers an optional one-on-one fight. If you win, you beat him. If you lose, I shall consult the 48-page full-colour manual. After 2 minutes of consulting, I can confirm, if you lose a duel, it is game over. So be sure to weigh the risks and rewards before you agree to a duel. You might just lose.
I don't want to die.
I could have set all the ships on fire to make this a bit easier for myself, but I didn't really need it and I didn't have time. Now, I said before that Dynasty Warriors combat was pretty simple, and it is. Really just run around pressing square and triangle whilst occasionally circle. You can also block and shoot arrows, but never shoot arrows, they're pointless. And as simple and repetitive as the gameplay sounds and looks, it's really quite fun to play. It's a great little time killer. Challenging too. I'm rusty because I haven't played in quite a while, and I came here from SnakeOfBacon 4, which, while it's the same genre, handles quite differently. Take note, I'm playing on easy because normal mode is quite hard, especially compared to later Dynasty Warriors games.
Officer defeated. My destiny has not yet.
I never get bored of that little victory ditty. Ah, and it's got one of these as well. That little motion tracking, watch the triangle run around and kill all the things. Haven't seen one of those since the last time I played an Ace Combat game. In addition to Muso and free battle modes, there are also these other extra challenge modes. Here I am playing with Pang Tong on Demolition, where you must destroy as many non-human things as you can. Which in this game means pots, boxes, cows with wheels, and these bloody tiger things that shoot fire at you. They're called juggernauts, and they apparently existed in this time period. Then there's Time Attack, where you see how long it takes you to defeat 100 enemies. And Bridge Melee, which I'm absolutely awful at. Your objective is to knock as many people off this bridge as you can without being knocked off yourself, something which I just can't do. And lastly, Endurance, where you defeat enemies non-stop until you die. Unlike Dynasty Warriors Advance, I can't play this mode all day, because the game's a lot harder and there's a 90-minute time limit, just in case some demigod lasts that long. I really dig the soundtrack. 2 thumbs up for Masa, who composes most of the rock music for Dynasty Warriors. I honestly believed I could last a really long time on this mode, at this point, but it does seem to get gradually harder as it goes along. That or I was getting gradually sleepier, I'm not sure. Damn Lu Boo. Ah well. 2-player modes now. You can play 2-player any time in the story, though this is one of the extra 2-player head-to-head modes, Influence, where apparently you must use the Imperial Seal to gain allies in an army to fight the other player. Now in this case, the player on the bottom is my feet, and I don't know how to use the Imperial Seal. Here is just a normal 1-on-1 showdown. Once again, hands versus feet. My feet are Guan Yu, jumping a lot. And my hands beat them again. Here is Encounter mode, where you must use your keen detective skills and screen peeking to find the other player and defeat them. Which is rather clever, but too clever for my feet to play. And lastly, Escort mode, where each player must defeat the other player's carriage. There's also an Encyclopedia mode, where you can look at your weapons and read about history. And an Edit mode, where you can make your own characters and bodyguards. As well as a place to watch the nice pre-rendered cutscenes from the game. In conclusion, Dynasty Warriors 4 is a nice thick game that offers dozens of hours of fun for 1 or 2 players. It comes highly recommended from me for people who haven't played a Dynasty Warriors game before, fans new to the series, and people just looking for a nice stress relief game. After all, it does have 42 characters and a lot of levels. I don't know why I didn't mention that earlier, but regardless, it's a ton of fun for a long time. PS2 copies of the game can be found rather easily on eBay for $10 to $15, or Xbox copies, slightly less easily of course, for about $25 to $30.